to another episode of Mighty Mods.
You know, the most annoying thing about owning a turbo car, other than insurance and the cops, is boost leaks.
And today we're going to show you how to make a device that will help you test for them from parts you can get at your local hardware shop.
And it'll cost less than $10, that's hot.
These are the parts you'll need. Epoxy 2-part glue, something to mix it up with, a PVC pipe and end cap to suit your pipes, a straight piece of silicone hose, T-clamps to hold it together, and an airline fitting.
Alright, so we're going to make our boost leak tester.
Get your epoxy glue ready, and remember it needs to be airtight, so make sure you mix it up really well. Put a good dose of it around the edge of the inner pipe, and then press it together firmly. Remember, it has to be airtight.
So seeing as we're going to be checking for leaks, we need to make sure that this is totally sealed, so you're going to need to give it plenty of time to dry.
Once the glue's dry, put your silicone pipe on and then use a hose clamp and make sure it's nice and tight.
So your finished product should look something like this.
Drill out a hole in the end cap for your airline fitting and glue it so it's super tight. You may have noticed that the little March has had an upgrade. You can't buy pre-made front mount intercooler kits for this car, so in true Mighty Mod spirit, we made one up ourselves.
We're going to be testing the whole front mount intercooler system for leaks. So what that means is we need to take the hose off that's closest to the turbo and the hose that's closest to the intake and block them and check for leaks between them.
A is the turbo and supercharger outlet, B is where the now cooled air connects to the intake.
You'll need to set the regulator on your compressor to around the same amount of boost that your car's running. So in this case, it's 14 psi.
Remember, compressed air can be dangerous. It's important that your compressor and hoses don't leak. Do up the T-clamps tight. You don't want this thing coming off under pressure and landing 4 suburbs away. Block one side of the system. You can make a plug from exactly the same parts as we've just shown you, but leave out the airline fitting. Okay, so here's what's happening. We've got pressurised air coming out of the compressor at 1 bar. That's going into our boost leak tester, which is attached to the cooling piping. From there it flows into the core of the intercooler before it flows through the return pipe before hitting our homemade plug. This means the whole system's pressurised, so if there's any leaks, we're going to hear them.
That is the sound of you going slower than you should be.
If you don't want to make one, you can buy a commercial unit. This one's available from siliconeintakes.com and it works slightly differently.
We're going to use the tyre inflator because it's got a really accurate gauge, and from that we can see the system's holding pressure.
You can set the regulator a little higher now as you can control the pressure from the tyre inflator. If the gauge goes down, it means you've got a leak, and if luck's not on your side, it's probably in the hardest to reach spot.
The needle's not moving, all good.
Don't forget to depressurise the pipes.
It's a quick and easy project, should take you half an hour and cost you $10 and you're in business.
Now, if you plug the air compressor in and tighten everything up as much as you can and there's still air leaking out, you probably should see a doctor.